we can, and treating everyone how they deserve to be treated. We do this.
All right, we would like to apologize for the cut of transmission. Actually, this area where the studio, they get a lot of construction work. They renew the pavements, so they cut, they do a lot of, they cut our electricity, they go off sometimes, In our man country, they change the road every now and then. They reconstruct, they change pavement. If you see the pavement where these people they change them, the one way for Amba land, the one way they change now, and new one way they still put our Amba land. They change the pavement, they put new one there, so it disturb our internet connections and electricity quite often. So I apologize for the cut in transmission. Our internet I think they disturb internet connection somewhere around this environment where they do construction work. So I apologize for that.
Yes, because of construction work that is going on around the area where we have a studio right now, we are having these hitches. We don't have control over the stability of power, so it goes on and off, and like now, and we are really sorry for the disruption of transmission, and we've just gotten back power, and we are hoping that we'll connect from where we left out. Before we left, we were trying to talk about the embassy that has been burned down in La Republique.
The refugee.
Okay, we're on the refugee situation already. We haven't talked about the embassy yet, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that after the refugee.
Okay. So yesterday in London, our president was in London, and he addressed the London Political Summit. He had a good address, at least that's what the comments online and people who attended, those are the comments that we are getting. And also we watched it on Southern Cameroon Community UK Facebook page, and it was a very good address. It was a very good way of telling our story, and it's important that we take after our president and we start telling our story the same way. So as you are joining us live on Facebook especially, please endeavor to share the video and invite other people to join the broadcast. We know that we got cut off for when the lights went off, and obviously we have lost a lot of viewers. We had over 100 online already. So just share as you join so that other people can join the show as well.
Yeah, and so even here for South Africa today, the Catholic Church began a mass for pray for Amba land and for launch a relief effort for our people back in Nigeria, where they all run from the brutality of the La Republic soldiers. So our the SGB together with the spokesperson for Africa, with other leadership, they did it today for launch this a refugee relief fund, and they talked to the priests. It also happened to come from Amba land, and they talked to the SG. So we will just play a short clip of our spokesperson where he talked to these people, and then we will get a little bit of an idea of what we for South Africa we want to do for our brothers and sisters. We would also call them refugees in Amba land in Nigeria.
Yes, so we'll watch those video clips right away, and we'll make some analysis, but then we really want to share some of the efforts that our leaders in South Africa are trying to push in collaborations with the effort that our president has already launched in the UK. There's a huge campaign going on in the UK right now. So, so you just watch this and have an idea of what we are planning to do in South Africa. And this is, what is going to be done across the world in Amazonian communities around the world to support our brothers who are displaced internally and sisters who are displaced internally at home, and also those who have fled into neighboring Nigeria. So let's watch that video.
17th of November 2017, His Excellency Sisiko Ayoktabe, President of the Interim Government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, launches a massive relief and support fundraising event for our refugees and all the suffering people in prisons and hospitals. And here on the 18th of November 2017 in Johannesburg, South Africa, Mr. Milanatam, Secretary General of the Governing Council, does same. Mr. Secretary General, a message to our people at this particular time when we're calling for unity and a strong need to look at our people and support them in the time of need.
Thank you very much. When we started this struggle, there was no doubt in our mind that it was a God-ordained struggle. We also knew that it is a just cause for which we are fighting. And so there was no doubt that what we are doing was going to succeed. And we will succeed. However, we also recognize that for us to succeed, there will be trying moments. There will be difficult times. There are times when we will have to go through suffering like our people are going through now. We always knew that we were going to go through bumps, but with each bump there's going to be progress. I went down to the field and I saw the suffering for myself. I traveled through and across the eastern borders of Nigeria, and I saw the thousands of our people who have crossed the border. At the moment, we are sitting with a figure of about 16,000 people, and in fact, the UNHCR approximates something like 25,000 people who have crossed the border, and more coming. That's a lot. But it's not the numbers that bother me. It is the condition in which these people find themselves. We met young lactating mothers. We met young pregnant women. We met young men with bullet wounds in their bodies, still waiting to be treated. Many of them have got nowhere to stay. They have to sleep in the open, and this is mosquito-infested areas. As a result, the message that needs to go to our people is twofold, in fact threefold. Number one is going out to our compatriots who are going through these difficulties to say they must take heart and they must be of courage, because their people across the world have not forgotten about them, and that we continue to work very hard. We have just come out of a mass organized by the Catholic Church where the appeal for funds, for support for our people has been launched, and we are confident that from South Africa, just like elsewhere in the world, there's going to be a lot of support going to our people. That's the first goal. The second is to our people across the world, the globe. We want to thank them for the support and the work they've been doing, thank them for everything that they've been able to put together, the support they've sent down to our people, but we want to appeal that the need is there, and we need to continue to give the support. I know that at the moment there is a lot of support that's being generated and galvanized in terms of material things, clothes, shoes, and maybe some medication to our people, and to an extent food. But we need more than that. For those who have got any kind of experience, be they doctors, nurses, people with experience in this area, we are appealing to them. Take some time off, take a week or two, go down to the field, help your people, be there with them so they know that you are there. That is what we tried to do when we went there, and we think it is important that every single one of us who has got the means goes and does for their people. The third fold that I would like to make mention of, and which we don't talk about very often, is to send a special thanks, message of thanks to the government of Nigeria and to the people of Nigeria. They have been extremely generous. They have been extremely kind. When we arrived in Ikom, we saw how the local government and the government of Nigeria was making available non-food items to our people. We know that one of the biggest needs of our people at the moment is food, and it's also accommodation, as well as treatment, medication. But we are appealing to everybody to come forth and give their support as we continue to thank the Nigerian government for the support and the kindness and the generosity and hospitality that they've already afforded our people.
Thank you so much. A very loud message. I think the question now to every single Ambazonian, in particular your friends, is what have you done so far, and can you do more? God bless you as you get into your closet, into your bank accounts, and you push yourself to limit unbelievable so that our people in the time of need can feel your love. Thank you. We're here with Father Dominic in Johannesburg, South Africa. We just from launching contributions to support refugees in Nigeria. Would like to get a word from the man of God. Father?
Yes. Look, it is a pleasure. What you are doing is something great. And I am sure that things are going to work. The way our people, our interim government is working is something marvelous. is something very, very touching. And it makes my heart really to be happy, as if to say that that everything has been done already, that the independence have already come. Because the way Sisiko is going right there together, and he will leave here and go to Nigeria to go and meet, and that is how a leader should be. And that made me, and also the freedom fighters, everybody is walking in the way that is amusing me so much. My prayer is with you. I am fighting even more than you on the forefront, because I'm fighting with God and asking God to intervene in all our endeavors, in all that we are trying to do. We shall succeed. That I don't have fear at all. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man of God. Thank you so much, Father. And for the calls to contribute material, money, any form of donations to support the thousands of Ambazonian refugees in Nigeria, what would be your message to the Ambazonian people and the world's community at large?
Listen, when I look at our fish freedom fight that day, one of them said, "Look what is happening now. Please don't cry." He said to these refugees, Paul Biya will not be our president. Is not our president. Our president here is Sisiko Ayok. And so when he said that, the people crowd, they have suffered so much. No, they were just only to be calm, to go ahead. As we move around, we may also be asking friends who can also help us. If we have any small little thing, we will always channel it for the use of our government, to make our country really a better place to live in. So I admire our people so much in the way that you cannot even imagine. The people are calm and they are doing all sorts of things. The people are happy, trying to go ahead, trying to keep the law, to do everything, and really to establish this independence, and it's going to come.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Father. Thank you so much.
Yeah, when I hear how our people go for Catholic Church today, and they meet up our Father, man of God, and you hear how he talk with so much passion and happiness for a voice. He tell we say he fight with God for intervene for this our struggle, and he be very happy for the way people in the back at home and the refugees that they happy when they tell them say Paul no be still our president His Excellency Sisiko Ayok Tabe. So now the joy that we will get them, and that joy will make we for continue for push and make sure so we chase the terrorists the way they don't inhabit our land and take our administration, and we will take them back from them, and we'll continue for build our nation, so that tomorrow the citizens will stand look and say no, to choose the people to be correct for them by themselves.
Yes, yes, indeed. We heard from Reverend there. Words of encouragement. We also heard from the SG reiterating what our president has said in London this afternoon, launching the campaign for a support drive to ensure that our brothers and sisters that are fleeing across the borders to Nigeria, that they never lack. And this is a very important moment in our history. This is a very important time where we need to take care of our own. We need to show ourselves that we can take care of each other. If you heard Kalesh on Wednesday when she came on the show, she said they are scared of a cholera break in 2 of the camps. I don't know if you know this, but we are not used to suffering. We are not used to this type of things, but that is something to be scared of. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this so that people should really reconsider how much they are giving towards this project, how much medication sending down there. A cholera break in a refugee camp is like a disaster waiting to happen, and we need to prevent that. And how do we prevent that? Our health and support services, they need to have the necessary medications to give our people in Nigeria so that this doesn't affect them. We need to step up our doctors from around the world. Whenever they have leave at work, they should be rushing down to Nigeria to help. And also, the appeal that I want to make is our brothers and sisters in the medical profession, they have fraternities around the world. Various professions have fraternities around the world. Call on your fraternity. If it's Doctors Without Borders that you are part of, call on them and point them to the plight of Ambazonians in Nigeria so that they can step in. They have their resources. This organization have their resources. Point them to our plight. Connect with our government and get help to our people. Use your professional networks. Use your personal networks. Let us do everything that this refugee crisis should just be the worst that we have ever seen. If a disease is to break out in one of those camps, it would be a terrible feeling to be a Southern Cameroonian. Just imagine somebody who's running away from their house because they're afraid to be killed. They're afraid to be tortured. And then they run away into another country, into safety, and then just for a terrible disease to break out and still torture them. This is torture that our people don't deserve. And this is torture that we can prevent now by doing whatever we can do with our own means. So, the support services, they are collecting clothes, they are collecting toiletries. There's contact numbers from around the world. All over South Africa, there's contact points, contact people that you should contact them and drop off your stuff. Please, this is probably the most important thing. This humanitarian drive is probably the most important thing we all are going to do. If you go to your wardrobe, I can bet you more than half of your dresses, you don't use them. You don't need them. If you check in a week, out of your 20 shirts, you only use 4 or only 5 shirts. Those 15 shirts that you don't use the whole year. Somebody is in Nigeria and goes almost bare body, goes with a singlet. When I look at those pictures and I look at our boys, but you have 15 shirts in your wardrobe that are picking mold. This is the time that you take all of those dresses to the laundry, you pack them up in a nice box, and you send them down to Nigeria so that somebody can look good in those dresses and even think that our brothers and sisters abroad are not forgetting our plight. There is food. Our kids in our homes, because we are well-to-do, you put food in a plate and a kid literally, eats half of that food and keeps the rest in the kitchen for the maid to push out in the bin and all that. This is the time that you sit with your children at home and have that conversation and say, you can no longer be throwing leftover of food. What we are going to do is we are going to reduce the portions. We are only going to have enough food to eat, and the rest of our food we will send supplies to Nigeria so that your brothers and sisters that have fled across the border would have something to eat. These numbers are not getting better. Every day, more and more people are coming over. So we really, really need to double our efforts. We really need to open our wallets wide open. But then it's important that we call on our professional networks, the communities, the societies that you belong in. If there is any assistance that those communities professionally offer, this is the time that you point that society to our plight, to our people in Nigeria, connect with our government, connect with the support and health department, and see how you can help. If you can help with freighting things down to Nigeria, it's time to step in. Whatever service that you are doing that can help to improve the condition of our people in Nigeria, this is the time that you should step in. And since we are on this support and social services issue, it's important that we also look at the people who are internally displaced. Yesterday we had a situation, I'm not going to call names, where somebody contacted that they were in a hospital at home and they needed help. They were scared of being amputated and they needed help. And we reached out to HSS and we pushed that they should send support to this person, only to find out that this person has already gotten help. I was shocked when that happened. It's not a good thing to be happening. We understand that our people have suffered. We have literally suffered all our lives, and we are still suffering. But in this time of crisis, all of us, we need to be fair and we need to be responsible. Things like that are not supposed to be happening. If you have already gotten help, what you need to be doing is you need to be pointing other people who need help towards help. If you get double help and one person end up dying because they didn't get help, because you got double, triple, because you had WhatsApp, you had Facebook that you could email for help and gotten that help 4 times, 5 times, while other people are in the bush and they cannot get help, it is not fair. What we as Ambazonians need to establish right now as a suffering people is that we need to be fair with each other. We need to be fair. The people, Kalesh and her team, like the work that they are doing, I'm not even sure when they sleep. So when these people are spending sleepless nights plus their jobs to ensure that you are getting help, don't play with them. Don't take them for a ride.
Yeah, just like they really talk, some people don't use this thing like for the scam, na scam. I sure people they just lie in the hospital, gives WhatsApp number, find way collect money. How will you collect money for people that they suffer? As though God go to punish you. We don't, when they talk say this struggle, na God ordained struggle, you feel say na joke. When you take person money way they supposed to give hospital way genuinely need them, you go write video message, you talk how you did desperate, may they send you money, you know, fine. That is not good. And then for our people where they want to send clothes, I beg, no go take some rag where you don't try to use them, package and send them for Nigeria. Give clothes where you be feasting wear them, but I say not small for you, or say not small for your pikin. No go carry any kind of clothes where if they give you make you wear, you know, fit wear them, send them for people, because those are people where they be the wear those kind of clothes, we need to be the wear. Now just say that circumstances now not prevent them from even buy anything for themselves. So when one send clothes or shoes, not take the one we don't abandon and throw them somewhere where no man of you use them again, you can't begin package and send them for Nigeria. You do waste the money where you send and they because they don't go use them. So send things the way people will use with the bag. And
it's very important to send things that you yourself can use. Like I said, like when I looked at my wardrobe, there's a lot of my own dresses that I've bought that I never wear, and they're in good condition. All I need to do is to make sure that I take them for pressing, they iron them up nicely, I put them in a nice box, and I send them down. There's shoes. So all of us, we have these things. We need to be sending containers upon containers, and there have been arrangements made in Nigeria already that we are not going to pay tax for all of these things sent down. So no matter how bulky, just contact the people responsible in your area and get those things sent down to Nigeria. Somebody would really need them.
yeah.
So I think the message for support and relief has been passed very well, and I think that we all have gotten it clear. We all are going to share the message. We all are going to ensure that we take action on this message. The important thing on this message is what you do. It's not just about hearing. It's not just about telling other people. It's about what you do. What you do. And when you are packing your small box of clothes, of toiletries to send, it's important to also take a video, send a message. Like when we sent out the call in South Africa, the first box came from Botswana. And the gentleman went to the market and bought a lot of children's shoes and then he put in his own clothes, but then he bought a lot of shoes for children because he saw those children in Nigeria barefooted. So he bought a few pairs of shoes and he put in there and he sent a message and he said that was the contribution that he could start with, but then he's going to continue supporting. So we all, as you pack your bag, make that small video and send it out. It will encourage another person to pack their own small bag, and very soon we'll have a few containers that we are sending down to Nigeria, and we will make life easier for our brothers and sisters running across the border. It is already hard for them as it is, and all we want to do is to make things easier for them. We need to make things bearable for them. So the message is very clear. In the next few days, we are hoping that everybody does take action. So we are going forward to our next item, which is the hot one, the glass house in Yaoundé was burned down. Now we've had a lot of arguments where my argument has always been very clear that Yaoundé is organizing the burning of schools in Amba land. That has been my position. And why? Because most of those schools burnt down. They are under guard 24/7, military guard 24/7, and they get burnt down. And they said, no, it's extremists burning them down. And what we experienced 2 days ago in the embassy in Yaoundé, in the parliament in Yaoundé, it's for me, it's evidence of what I've always been saying. But then the terrible news, Ray, an SDF parliamentarian just sent a message that you wouldn't believe this, that all the 20 years of SDF work in the parliament, 22 years, documents, soft copies, hard copies, all lost in that fire.
Then we'll get back up.
Well, before we get to back up, let us look at the circumstances. Yes, we are going to get to. We are in a world now where everything is supposed to be on cloud. Yes, everything on my computer is on cloud somewhere. But then we are we come from an analog country.
Maybe na sign for the same they leave the parliament completely forever.
I agree with you, Ray. I agree with you on that one. So the SDF parliamentarian is saying they have lost all their data in parliament. And obviously we know that it's the same song that all of them in parliament are going to sing. And from there on, probably nothing is going to happen in that country in terms of policy because everything is going to be the recent excuse. Chiruma is already saying there was 3 billion francs that was burnt down. Who knows? Very soon we'll hear that the students' laptops were also in that building. Everything that the bank has to do.
Cameroon no get bank.
Everything.
Why do you carry 3 billion go to that building?
Yeah. So everything that
parliament a bank.
Everything that government has to do now has to tend to that parliament building. That building was storage. It was a bank. It was everything. So it's a perfect excuse. It's a perfect excuse now as it is, where they will put everything that goes wrong on. It burnt down in that building. But then, we Southern Cameroonians cannot buy the story. Immediately before we wake up that morning, there was a good write-up by a gentleman, and he said, 2 reasons why La République would burn down her own parliament. And the key reason that this gentleman raised was that La République is hiding evidence of the existence of former West Cameroon that they dismantled in 1972. And this gentleman put forth an argument that the documents of the West Cameroon government in Boya were looted to Yaoundé when they conducted their fake referendum, or what was it called, plebiscite, in 1972. They carried all documents from the State House in Boya to Yaoundé, and these documents were in that parliament. And now, obviously, the answer is it got burnt down. So that was the first reason that this gentleman raised. And Ray, you want to talk about other assumptions. What are your assumptions about this parliament burnt down? For me, I cannot think. Chiruma already said it's an accident, and for me, it's an intentional accident.
Well, maybe we can open the lines and our people call. Yeah, maybe we open line, maybe we people call, because I know say that the Republican born parliament to use all kind of excuse for beginning the thief do all their own nonsense them. Small time they will blame all things as we talk for parliament burning. That means all things inside parliament. They will say even that decentralization constitution, it is inside parliament, so they know we see decentralized. We know see no. So maybe the brothers that right for do federation. They say as parliament not born now, it all things is that parliament. Or so we don't know. We just watch as the days they unfold. However, we don't open the lines.
Before we open the lines, we promised during the last show that we are going to look into what happened in Ginicom.
Oh.
Closure of the Ginicom hospital.
For a village.
I don't know about that.
The village now look come.
We promised that we are going to look into what happened in Ginicom that led to the closure of the hospital, so that we can inform our people exactly what happened. So we got hold of a kind Samaritan in Ginicom who interviewed people in the community, workers in the hospital, and wrote a detailed report about what happened on the 4th of November in Ginicom. This report, complete report, is on the SCDC website, and it's written by somebody in Ginicom, and this person interviewed almost everybody that was involved in what happened in Ginicom. So if you want to know the factual story of what happened in Ginicom, you go onto our website, you will get the story. But then me and Ray will share some perspective on what we learned from this story of what happened in Ginicom. So Ray, you want to go?
I say, Derek, because I think so. It'd be very surprising, say, for this time. But then I will start with the premise, say, La République don't teach you very bad habits. La République don't make an all-man for position of power, the only one for swindle funds, the only trying to for do people, find out how we go connive, take the greatest amount of money if you take them before a time comes for that institution can elapse. Now just greed, don't make that Ginicom hospital be closed down. The simple story, now say the previous matron will be being a laissez-faire person where anything goes. So people will be do things every day, the mind, the care, and as things they can turn out, they bring another person when they become originate from and he can do good work, because according to the story we'll get over the 2 years they don't turn around the hospital be much better than what it be before. But because the pharmacists, if he gets a backside kind of transaction the way they do them, he buy medication this he be just buy they say his certificate itself na fake. He buy medicine, just skyrocket the price, make the price high, then he go take and buy and cheap, can lie say na so he buy them, and so makes the increase. People they don't want to go on the patient, they pay a high price for medication. And when all these things them, even he be connive with the mayor a girlfriend for Bush, for diaspora, it is shifting into the hospital, the name, because no one pay tax, it build a nice house. Yeah, so when all these things don't come to fore, the matron, he fire he. Like you don't come on now, go peddle lies around how matron don't change, you don't come, they move all come people, they work for hospital, bring different people. He don't talk how he don't stop for, aid where they come for the hospital. He peddled a lot of lies about this lady, and now, what investigation turned out to say, out of 180 staff, we do for Ginicom, now only 20 be non-com people. We show say that one a lie. Me say they need to be fire the com people for that area. Obviously, be very normal. Say if una get that kind of hospital for our own village, make una people they enjoy it. I mean that they work as for that village. Yeah, but if that one become fire people, then if bad. But do them instead for about 80% of the workers are people from Ginicom. So that story where they talk say he bring people from outside being a lie. Secondly, fire pharmacists now because he want put different he want fire person from Ginicom. He fire because of the misappropriation of funds and the way they mismanaged things every day, the fraud and the certificate of fraud according to the investigation. So all those things now this man go peddle lights out there, he fool the people of Ginicom. The people of Ginicom they believe him, check say this matron a bad person, now he make him, they go make the fire the metron and they go drive actually. They don't even fire and so the people go drive out the pet. Yeah, when I go driving and the church now be forced for close down the hospital. Even though church no be do fine, the guys settle down, talk then come to a completely leave hospital because hospital they cater for the people of Ginicom. They not go for close the hospital.
So there's one key thing in the center of this thing all. The pharmacist who was hired by the previous matron and was given a free hand.
Yeah.
And this pharmacist, by a drug lord, not even pharmacist, because there's a lot of bad people in good places at home, and they use their influence and they do terrible things to the detriment of the same community that those institutions are meant to save. And this is some of the bad habits that La République has left us, and it's going to take a whole mind shift for us to change all of these things. And that's why it's important that we talk about this story with the severity, you know, that this story, because this thing that is happening in Ginicom, you can cut across every single community in Cameroon. You will find a bigger version or a smaller version of the same thing happening. So that's why we want to really put some emphasis on those stories and start telling our people that certain things are just not right. So the pharmacist is at the center of it all. And the pharmacist, because the previous matron of the Ginicom hospital hired him, and people questioned his credentials of being a pharmacist, this pharmacist would buy drugs and almost double the price, such that the matron, the current matron, got a report from one of the suppliers of the drugs that that's what the pharmacist is doing. Somewhere it went wrong. So the pharmacist told the matron what has happened, and just when this story is coming to the fore and the matron is trying to hire it, one department in the Ginicom hospital, the bones department, which is run by a foreign company. They are volunteers, they came and they ran. Ginicom hospital has the best bone treatment services in Cameroon, and this department was in Ginicom hospital. It was a private department run by a foreign body, and they are doing so as a volunteer. This department moved, and it's their agenda. They had finished their project in Ginicom and they were moving to Batibo. They moved their equipment to Batibo. So the same time this pharmacist story is coming up and the matron is firing the pharmacist is when this department moved their equipment from Ginicom. The pharmacist, with the aid of the mayor of Ginicom, whose girlfriend, by the way, ships a lot of things for their house in Wombong, ship stuff in the name of the church so that they don't pay tax. They have been shipping a lot of things in the name of the church and they don't pay tax. So the mayor is a collaborator to this pharmacist. They now went to the people, the populace, the people in the neighborhoods and say, hey, look at that matron. That matron is from Kumbu. That matron is only hiring Kumbu people in the hospital. She's very tribalistic. See, now she's moving equipment from Ginicom hospital to another hospital elsewhere because she hates the Com people. And these people, they built up a whole of bitterness in the community against the matron of the hospital, which led to the mob going to the hospital and pushing the matron out of the hospital and pushing the matron out of Ginicom. Imagine that. Imagine that. See a bad person taking advantage of a situation, taking advantage of the population and causing such a scene. They pushed the matron away, and the response of the church, which I think was wrong, by the way, was to shut down the hospital when they drove the matron away. And I think that the thing that the bishop or whoever is in control of the region was supposed to do, the first thing was to come and have an assessment meeting and talk to everybody involved, talk to the community while they feel the matron should go, talk to the matron herself. If it comes out that it's about the pharmacist, talk to the pharmacist, talk to the previous matron, talk to everybody so that people should get to understand. Because when we called the person who then investigated the story, this person had to talk to everybody involved. And then we put a story together based on that. If the church had done that, they wouldn't have, to close a hospital like the Ginicom hospital for one day, it's a terrible thing. Somebody might just lost their life because that hospital was closed for one day. It's been closed now for almost a week. And we are calling on the Catholic Church, we are calling on the authorities involved in this to go to Ginicom immediately and ensure that they reopen that hospital. That's not a good thing, but then they must also go to that community, call the people of that community, listen to everybody in that community, and try to put the story straight. Because first of all, what the pharmacist is telling the people in the community, that this matron is only hiring people from Kumbu, is not true. There are 180 workers in that hospital, and only 20 are from Kumbu. 20 out of 180. 160 are from Com, and I can almost tell you that most of them are from Ginicom, because most of the clerical workers are from that community. So this is a terrible thing. But like I said at the beginning of the story, if you cut to every society in southern Cameroon or the entire Cameroon, you will find a story like this,
La
where
Republic.
somebody in their black Range Rover or their Land Cruiser is taking complete advantage of a community that doesn't understand what is going on, taking aid or using that community to take aid and do their whatever. These things must stop.
Yeah.
These things must stop in Amberland. We
Yeah.
must not tolerate such things going forward.
Yeah, that's why we want our country, so that we could build them very well. I would like to call our technical director to put our number on the screen, so that we can open the lines. As we wait for our technical director to open the lines, I want to just say I will receive an email. One of my good friend, he tell me say, I don't know why I say grandpa be the send thunder, but if you don't learn, I'm have to send the thunder, and I say be still be very young. Say, then I say go visit that thunder sending. So I beg you, if you send thunder, me try go enact that spirit of send thunder, so that if we send thunder for this La Republic soldier them, where they can't destroy our people. This thing will be joking matter. No one maybe we can't discuss the matter for this our traditional doctor. Them again we write the tell we say they fit do them, make they do them. After our last show, we talk say me make our witch doctors on a traditional doctor now which one they call them. Make they start send thunder or may they send honey self, you know. But no, they never do them. So they all write. So my friend write me say grandpa be the do them. Now he go go take over do how we at the Becky make it try do them for we. Because if we never use true gun to shoot that people, maybe we use supernatural force sample and they.
I don't say every option is on the table with Ray.
Yeah.
They laugh.
Yeah, if we have used thunder ourselves.
So we have our lines open. We have our direct line on the screen. People should note that what we have noticed is that calls from home, they are usually disrupted, and we know that La Republique should be, behind these disruptions. But then we are going to try, and you're supposed to persevere when you call. Hello, welcome to Amba Perspective. We lost that caller. So the lines are open now, and if you're watching us from Facebook, you can ask questions or make comments on our Facebook conversation.
Hello.
We'll be running those conversations on our screens as well.
Hello. Hello, welcome to Amba Perspective.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Go ahead.
This is Brett calling from Amberland.
Amberland, my brother.
Yeah, Amba precisely.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, we'll hear you.
Greetings in the studio.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to appreciate the way we have established and the word of encouragement from our brothers every day. We are wanted and seen enough.
Wow. No, our brother, we send we a word of encouragement and we thank you, even though the line be cut. Like there we talk, some problem deal with our lines from home. When people call from home, the lines they come, they cut. So we don't understand, but we suspect, say La Republique hand for this thing. They don't use this our number, put over the system. Whenever you call this number, they like it cut the lines when they come through, and so on, and it clear. Hello.
Hello, I'm calling from Mountain.
Hello, my sister. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Thank you. Go ahead with your perspective.
Okay, I want to put your work
Thank you.
in the struggle. And I also want to report that yesterday, a woman in Mountain.
Yeah, go on.
So the woman was going up the store at a primary Mountain at really house. Suddenly the military man opened his phone front of the woman. And then the bullet came out and shot the woman on the left and the heart. To hospital.
Do you
and
perhaps?
I would like to be reporting from Mountain.
Yeah, you get this woman in contact so that we send them for health and social services. Me, they help you out.
Hello?
Yes, you get where we get contact with the person so that we send them for our health and social services. Me, they help them out.
Okay, I send them through it through WhatsApp.
Yes, just WhatsApp the number. We go take them. They send them for our social services so that they will help the woman. So they just see the woman, they just shoot them.
Yes, the woman I just got then she was standing. And the party for the left the hand and
That's terrible. Yeah, just
and the military.
okay. Yeah, so there we could hear they still shoot people for Amba land.
It's a terrible thing to explain. Like, one just cannot believe. Like, you see that boy who was showing his back, that military people just saw him on the road.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Yes, I'm Bavinia.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes? Oh, I was to now, right?
Yeah, switch off your TV or put down the volume so that we will hear you clearly.
Hello? Yes. Okay, I was to now, right? So, hello?
Yes, we hear you. The guy, the watch we, and then they talk the same time.
Yeah, when you call, please, the first thing to do is to move away from your TV set, or you put down your volume. If not, it will be interrupting the call as well. So the lines are still open. We want to listen to you. I beg that madam way call from Manfe, where you say they don't shoot some person. I beg, try for SMS with that number for that woman, so that we'll get people for HSS, make them call, make them try to get that woman help as soon as possible.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello. Hello, my sister.
Yes, it is called our nation. So, all these was what they follow. So, fight on all that name, fight on all up.
Okay.
So, in the case, and that name, Arrow, that was Amba.
All right, that one a good suggestion. You know, we still have to be very careful so that if we go out, the wipe out Cameroon for our billboards, make we not be caught by the police, because these people be very brutal. But I've been also on signboard way they write and somewhere say welcome to the activity, Derek.
Say Ambazonia.
Welcome to Ambazonia. You know, if person if you do that kind of one do I'm fine, but make we be very careful.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So thanks so much for that suggestion. Yes, our young men, we should start doing graffiti. You know, doing paintings, putting the name Ambazonia across our towns. But you must do it in places where they will not see you when you do it, so that those people, they don't end up shooting you and all that.
Hello. Hello? That call is off.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, welcome, sir. Yeah, welcome. Can I hear your perspective?
Yes. I'm saying people in Zambia, there is no dress.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you there? And then people in Ghana.
Did you hear that, Derek?
I'm missing that. He said people without something.
He went off before we could hear him properly.
Yeah. So, one of the things that we need to mention is we need to talk to our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. The 1st of October, the president's speech, he instructed our boys to come together and form community groups and be prepared to defend home. A lot of these boys are reaching out that their communities abroad are not reaching out to support them. I spoke to some in Boyo County, a couple of them, and they said they are not getting any support from our people. You see, the easiest way to get to the people in your community is for me to call back in my community and find out and connect to those people. The easiest way is that you connect with your people of your community abroad as well, and then you start raising some money to support your own community with and start your own community projects that will go towards self-governance. This is very important. It's something that we all must consider and start acting as communities to support our brothers and sisters back home.
No, that's true, Derek. If we want for get communities to be organized, each county will be organized for diaspora. Call back home, organize in our counties then so that we'll fit support them for be self-reliant.
Yeah, so thought you had a caller.
Hello? Oh, the caller went up. Yeah.
So go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, for those who know when a day back home, if when one call, una make sure say una lines because normally calls when they come out of home, they be clear, they need to cut, but we don't realize it. The ones that they did for home, when they call, the line they cut, and was suspicion and say La Republic they try for stop una for get through to the calls because some of the people that they call from home with the encouraging words they encourage other people them and the struggle they get stronger and stronger by the day. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Yes. So I want to say we are the same for La Republic.
Okay.
The guy from F.R.A.